Did you enjoy fairy tales or Aesop's Fables or any kind of story involving animals when you were a child? Stay tuned, let's talk about that. Hi everybody, welcome back to another video by Pan Society. I'm Cherie, and today I want to talk about animals in fables, fairy tales, and lore. When we were kids, I would say most of us have grown up on stories like Aesop's Fables or any kind of fairy tale that had animals in them, or even inanimate objects that had human characteristics. And that's because those types of stories, animals are attractive to children, so we pay attention more because they're fun characters, and they help teach stories to children and to us as we're growing up, and it's an easy way to pass on lessons through time. Now, it wasn't just about trying to keep a kid's attention when you're using animals. If you take a closer look, all of these animals have special traits, and this is not just in fairy tales, but also in real life, in nature. And those character traits were used to teach lessons. So when you hear things like cunning like a fox or fast as a rabbit, that's taking traits that those animals have and using them. And we take that a little bit further when we use those animals in dreams. Like if we see so many, say we see a fox in our dreams, what do we think? A trickster or something happening. So it helps us decipher things that are either happening in our dreams, the way we tell our stories, the lessons that we're teaching, and sometimes they're revealing about us too, or something that we need to see. So if you're outside a lot and you see a certain animal all the time, maybe it's telling you something, maybe you need to know something. And then you expand this out into real life situations, because if you start to pay attention to these animals and take them out of our fairy tales and our lore, there's a whole lot more to it that our ancestors knew, and that's what they were giving us. So we pay attention to these traits when we think about bears storing up and eating a lot of food to fatten up and have a lot of calories to burn while they're slumbering through the winter. Same thing with smaller animals that do that. And then it helps us pay attention to seasonal changes that are happening and helping us prepare for that. It also helps us recognize that they're coming, because those stories tell us certain things that are happening. They also teach us lessons in folly and frivolity, because sometimes some animals don't practice storing for the winter, or they don't prepare for things, and then these are lessons that we need to learn for ourselves as well, because it could be perilous if we don't. Not just preparing for the winter, but for other things, if we're not observant and we're not careful. So pay attention to animals that you notice along the way. Go back to your favorite fables and your stories and try to figure out why. Did you see something of yourself in these animal characters? Do these animals have characteristics that you do have for yourself? Or maybe they have the opposite. Maybe they have a characteristic that you're lacking, or vice versa, and it's something you want to strengthen up in yourself. Take the time to follow nature outside and see those animal characteristics out there as well. And if you want to, take the time to pick an animal, decipher its characteristics, decipher its mannerisms, its diet, its sleeping habits, and maybe you can write your own fable around that for you, your family, your own children, whoever, and write a tale about it and see where that takes you. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me today. Don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time in another Pan video.